Hello, 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 family. I hope everybody is doing good. Tonight I'm going to talk about MS, lupus, fibro, autoimmune diseases versus Lyme. Do not stop this video saying, oh, I've already been tested. No, you have not been tested. You have not been tested accurately, so stay with me as I talk about this. Okay, I run the Herkimer County Lyme Disease Support Group here in upstate New York. And Herkimer County is not small. At any rate, I have been studying this stuff for 8.5 years. I am not a medical doctor, though I have studied with some of the medical books and every book out there, websites, everything. I live this life. I have been diagnosed in the past as having, well, they said it looks like I have lupus because of my ANA panel. I've been told numerous times it sounds like you have MS. I've been told I have chronic fatigue. I've been told I have fibromyalgia. I've been told that I have arthritis. I have been told that I have mental issues because of it, that it is psychosomatic, and so on. So hang with me, all right? I know where I'm coming from. Been there. I talk to people frequently, daily, all the time. And we all have one thing in common. We all have autoimmune issues. Now, we're going to start off with lupus people, okay? A lot of lupus people, obviously, they have issues where the body is attacking their connective tissues, their joints around their organs, and so on. So do Lyme people. Alright? All your symptoms are the same as ours, but the testing is different. A lot of you probably have been tested for Lyme, but like I said, at the end I'll get into how the testing actually works and how you've been tested compared to accurate testing. So now Lyme disease hides in our connective tissues and it grows a biofilm on it, which means there's a bunch of little clusters of little, like, imagine my fingernails being a bunch of little whiptail, ugly little spirochetal swirly looking things. They all get together in a little family and they grow a biofilm, which is like a white coating, and it protects them in case you take an antibiotic for a short time. It's not going to penetrate that wall that they're all living in. It's like, you know, a protective coating for them. So now we're going to jump over to MS people. Okay, basically we all know that MS people have issues with their myelin tissue and the body actually eating away at the myelin tissue and stuff, and it's causing, well, basically a short in the way the signals travel between the nerves and so on. And they don't know what causes the body to attack itself, as in with lupus. Well, face it, guys. Your body doesn't just attack itself. It attacks something that is foreign, that is in there. Right? And you remember what I said about those little creatures being all bunched up and they've grown a coating. Alright, so now, MS usually, with most people, I mean, it is in the spine, but it's also in the brain, and a lot of times, you know, you get the lesions and stuff, but I'll get into that in a moment. What happens with us, with Lyme disease, is that the cells need to feed, and they tend to hang out in, like, high-density fatty places. And where is that? That is especially in the brain area. Okay, and it is the myelin sheath that they attack, because that's where all that yummy stuff that they like, that they live off from, is at. So it's eating away at that tissue until you finally have a hole in it, and you're getting shorts. Doesn't that sound like MS, guys? Yeah. So now, you guys have the same exact symptoms that we do. Now, a lot of MS people, they get diagnosed by finding out that they have lesions in the brain. Do your research. Lyme disease, once again, has lesions in the brain. They don't know why they have the lesions in the brain with MS, but they do know with, like, Lyme disease. Okay. So now you've got that, too. So, now you guys may have been tested or may not have been tested for Lyme disease. If you think you're going to go there and get your blood drawn, it's not going to come back positive. It's absolutely... The only way it's going to come back positive is if you just recently got bitten within the last 6 months. That's it, guys. You need to be on antibiotics for at least 6 weeks for it to start showing up. Because if you're this far into the diseases to feel this lousy, then you've had it for a while and you need the antibiotic to bring it out. Something's got to break down a little bit in the barrier of that cell wall, that little coating, that, you know, the little villagey people and their little coating there, the cells, to get them to come out. And then a lot of times when you start having die-off, when they start to die off, it sends this nasty stuff through your body, which causes us to have, quote, Herx reactions, or MS people would have a flare-up, so on, right? We all have the same, experience the same things. We have those down times. Lupus people, maybe not so much as with, like, MS people. Ever notice it tends to be more in the fall or after you have a fever and things like that? That's a die-off. They come out in the fall, winter months. Notice you feel like crap at that time of year? Alright, so, here's the thing. You need to get an accurate blood test. Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not a medical doctor. But, like I said, 8.5 years of studying this. And doctors go to school how many years? To study all different things? This is only just some logical thinking here, guys. Alright? So get on some antibiotics. Excuse me. If you can find a doctor that'll even remotely give them to you for that extended period of time, you may need to go to a couple doctors. But, and then get an accurate Lyme test. But you also need to get tested. Remember how I said you have Lyme up here, then you've got Bartonella, Babesia, ehrlichiosis, things like that. Okay? You have to get tested for various other things. We've all been through this. All of us Lymies, we have all been through many, many doctors. We pretty much diagnosed ourselves, most of us. And it's just part of the way that it is. I mean, you've got to be tested. When I went for testing the last time, just for Bartonella alone, they got to test in the past. They got to test to see if you have it in the future. How long you've had it. Obviously, I had it a long time for having what I have. And then there's different strains of it. You got Bartonella Hensley, Bartonella Quintana, and then I can't even think of the other one. That's just Bartonella. Alright, so if you think you're just going to go get a Western blot test, and it's going to come back either positive or negative, no. Absolutely not. If it comes back inconclusive, guaranteed you've got it, and you've had it a long time. So it's basically the same thing. You know, I mean, you've just got to get to a good doctor, and you need to get some accurate testing. You really need to. Look it up. Do your research on the internet. Most of all, go to YouTube. Hopefully you guys can find it on there. You know, movies go up and then they come down. Look under the movie, Under Our Skin, and you'll see where they did some samples with brain tissue. They did like 10 people with like lupus, ALS, different ones, MS. Everyone with MS came tested positive for some sort of spirochete, which that's what Lyme is. So guys, I don't mean to sound and look very unprofessional this evening, but I was not going to get to sleep until I made this video and I uploaded it. Any rate, I hope all you guys look into this. Don't accept, oh, you have this, that's what you have, because like I said, we've been told that we've had MS, we've been told that we test positive for lupus. Of course, at first we're told that we have fibromyalgia. Anybody that knows me knows that there's no such thing as fibromyalgia. I have no answer for that, outside of it's an immune disorder. People, they make more money from all of us having lupus, having MS, having this, having that. Because not only are you paying for all these fancy meds, you're paying for equipment for MS. You're paying for this, you're paying for that. I don't want to hear that you had all the best testing for Lyme. Because if you had all the best testing for Lyme, it would have come back positive. So, you know where I'm going with this, right? Alright, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. And I hope that the MS and the lupus people and the fibro people and the chronic fatigue people and stuff, just give it a shot. It's not going to hurt. Wouldn't you rather be treated for what was really wrong than just being treated for, oh, you have this, take that. Alright guys, thanks again so much. Please feel free to go down below and hit subscribe. You'll see all the different symptoms, what we go through and stuff, and it may ring a bell with you guys. Thanks again.